G'day everyone. Well, I was in the shed today and I thought I'd dig out this piece of old crap. It's actually one of my favourite phones that I've ever had. This is a Motorola Jazz. It's very big, as you can see, so very thick, very large. So anyway, let's turn it on. I'll try. There we go. Probably won't give you a close-up of the screen. Enter phone unlock code 0000. Well, look, I mean, no one's going to steal that. Sort of, the battery in this has had it. I've rebuilt it and it hasn't actually had that much use. Camera's a piece of shit. But the thing was, you know, the battery pack got rebuilt 5 years ago or something. In fact, Battery World in Shepparton, which is where the batteries for this pack came from, don't even exist anymore and haven't done for quite a while. Alright, it's got the Virgin Mobile insignia on the screen and look at that, nice old external antenna. Hey, you don't get that anymore, they're all internal. This phone you could throw out a car window at speed and it would probably survive it very nicely. Let's give this phone a call and see if it actually works. I'll just put my own SIM card in it. Hello, me. There you go, the call quality's just as good as it was from day one. Oh well, I'm going to stop wasting our money and hang up. See ya! Alright, well, actually this phone really does work perfectly. There's at least another spare battery for it, so the only problem is, of course, the batteries need rebuilding. You could rebuild this battery, but who can be bothered? And you know, this thing, if you've got tracky dacks on, it'll pull your pants down because it's so bloody heavy. Nice Cellnet leather cover. I think it actually is a leather case too. It's sort of, it's got a lining sewn in on the case. I'm not really sure if it is or whether it's pretend leather. No, I think it might be leather because it's, yeah, it is actually a leather case because it's got worn bits on there. Let's shut the phone down. You know it's a really old phone because it's got one of those really old heavy transformer type battery chargers. Output 7.5 volts at 400 milliamps, and it tells you, just in case you cared, 3 watts. The input's 240 volts, 50 hertz, 0.04 amps. Charger Motorola model number RWP 410308S, and the phone itself is just simply a Motorola Jazz. Leather cases don't actually save phones, they really damage the screen from all the trapped dirt. But I think the kits for polishing car headlamps, the plastic ones that is, would probably work on screens of these things, but it's got a hard plastic screen, it's not spongy at all. Yeah, the keys are sort of, they're silicon. They feel like silicon. There's a little ringer speaker hole. You can get a close up of that. Probably not. Okay, well, yeah, you can see it just there. It's got the nice Motorola insignia on the top of the phone. Jazz. Let's just sort of give it a look at it. Yeah, I broke the battery pack a bit when I rebuilt it, but it didn't really matter functionally, so I didn't really pull my SIM card out. Gotta go back in there. It's got this. Okay, the battery pack. 1, 2, 3, 4 cells. They're 900 milliamp hour cells. AAA cells, and they're just simply soldered together. There's no. Oh, it's got a diode across the bottom of it, and I don't actually know why it's got a diode, but there you go. Someone fill me in, I don't really care enough to look it up, but there you go. The diode could be, you can't put the charger in backwards, I don't know. There you go, it's got a diode, I don't know why it's there, and I don't give a crap either. So anyway, I don't actually know what year. It tells you it's a GSM/A phone assembled in, actually it's GSM/assembled in Singapore by Motorola SL. I don't know what that means. There's no... That could be a date code, 1994. That sounds about right. What? 13394. So it could be the 13th of the 3rd, 1994. That sounds about right. This is a very old phone. It's a neat little SIM card. Let me see if we can get a close up. This is a neat little SIM card thing. This is easily the most reliable mobile phone you're ever likely to come across. It's really quite heavy even without the battery in it. The battery weighs more than the phone does. The charger doesn't work very well because it's just a transformer pretty much. I doubt it's got any electronics in it. I think it's just a crappy old transformer. Really, the new switch mode battery chargers are just so much better. So, assuming I'm doing this in frame, let's just have a look. Okay, well, let's move this camera a bit closer. There's no point in having it 15 yards back or whatever. Let's just see what kind of... I'm not used to using a tripod, so pardon me for a moment. This little Torx thing I got for repairing my actual mobile phone that I use just conveniently fits this. Now, this is a Torx T4, I think it is. It does have it somewhere. Okay, it's a T4. It is a T4. Statement, not question. I'm sure it's there somewhere, but this will probably never go back together again now, but anyway. I've got one of those little pick things that you undo the phone with, so I'll just go get that. They really are better than using your credit card, or... Okay, I don't have a credit card, but if I did, it's still better than using it. And screwdrivers, forget it. They do too much damage. I wonder if it's got a hidden screw. Don't really think so. I think it's just being a pest. I think it's being a pest. I don't think it's being held together by anything else. I'm sort of starting to believe that there are clips there, but I wonder if this little Motorola thing's got... This could have a screw or something under there. Haha! That, believe it or not, I've had the phone for a very long time, is actually a little port for the not a charger, for an aerial, an external car type antenna. So bugger me, I didn't know that. I figured there was a screw under there because, well, it won't come apart, and it, you know, they don't hold them together with super glue because this is still built when they made things to be repaired. So yeah, what do you know? Look at the size of the screws in this mobile phone. They are massive. They're quite large indeed, so I'm also willing to bet there's nothing else holding this cover on. Maybe a couple of little... Could still be something holding it together under the sticker. Then again, maybe not. No, I think there might be. That could be a little port for a screw. Yeah. See that? They hide things with labels. I've worked on so much crap over the years that you get used to that. They like hiding screws. Okay, there's not even going to be anything holding it together. Wowee, look at that. They're the little terminals for the battery. That's the ringer speaker. That little ringer speaker there. No real useful information. In fact, this thing's not even very interesting. Here we go. Look at all that shielding against RF. That's like looking inside an old VCR. Let's have a look at... You want to know what? This thing ain't even very interesting. That's the display. It's got like a... I'm not sure what that actually... If I destroy it, it doesn't really matter too much, but it's just a ribbon flex, so there's no point pulling it off the board. No, okay, look, it was assembled in 1998, and I know that because, look, that's pretty obviously a date code there. it says 48, which I don't know what the 48 means. Day maybe, the 48th day 1998, but CAV1, I don't know what that means. There's not even really anything that interesting on the board, but it is well made. This is something, it's got a small amount of corrosion on the little cover, but it's been kicking around in the shed for a very long time, so now that's the little microphone, that's actually a very large little microphone. It's sort of, the size of one of the keys. That's the little charger port there. And little surface mount devices for their little LEDs. You can't really see them too much because this camera's not very good at focusing. It's got I think a fixed focus, but let's see if we can get that to focus better. As Mr. Horse says from Ren and Stimpy, no sir, I don't like it. It's not doing it. So maybe we could pry one of those little covers off. No, I don't think we're going to be doing that. I'm not getting the soldering iron out either. Sorry, it's not one of the most interesting teardowns, but the little microphone just plugs in. That's just got a header for it there. That's the header for the SIM card, nothing special. What do you know about that? It's got a big IC under there. I guess what type? I'm not pulling it apart. I really don't want to pull this thing right apart because it's just so much work. Little contact there, that'll be for the antenna. It is, it's just got a little rod type antenna. So, very well made. You can see why modern stuff just doesn't last, because even this circuit board on its own is quite heavy. Now, the display is actually missing a couple of lines that are kind of not working properly, so I reckon the problem might be this little flex connector. I'm not really sure how that had come up. Little lever thing. There you go. Just comes out like that. Yeah. It's actually dirty. That's why it won't work. I mean, it's obviously got a little chip on board driver. It's revision A. God knows what that means, but it's got a couple of surface mount diodes, a couple of surface mount resistors, but under that's pretty obviously going to be some kind of display driver. It's just remarkable. It's built so. Get a bit of moisture on that and maybe use the old jumper to clean it, and probably the lines on the screen will come back. They may not. It may be interface between the driver. Not sure if that screen's half knackered. No, I don't think it is. I think it's meant to have that blue outline because it's sort of, I don't know. But anyway, could be the interface between the. No, I don't think it is because it looks like it's got like solder paste or something on there. But 1998 Motorola Vertex M1. Is that a design program? Question mark, I don't know. Someone else probably does. I guarantee someone here would use this kind of shit to design stuff. It's probably the only thing wrong with the stupid phone display. The fact that the bloody, what's the name, flex is a bit dirty. It's just bloody remarkable how well made these old phones were. Like, new ones are just crap. They're just not good at all. There you go. She's back together. Ooh, doesn't like being touched. That's why it obviously has such a rigid screen over the display. So that's the little speaker thing for the earpiece. It's probably not interesting enough to pop out of there. Let's pull the keypad. A little flexy keypad. It's got no contacts on it because it's I bet you there was a whole industry around replacing these stupid little silicon keypads with the printing on them. But yeah, it's got no keypads because it's got like a membrane on the actual keyboard itself. Microphone hole's a bit clogged. That'll be why the call quality used to be so friggin' lousy. Just remarkable how well made these phones were. I mean, you know, all the shielding, and one assumes that the way the old components were made, they just didn't like all the RF. I don't really know why, and I guarantee someone here will, but I reckon that's probably a lot to do with it. Look, I could pull all the what's the names off it, you know, all the little shields and stuff, but I'm not going to do it because, look, it's retro, it's cool, I'm not going to destroy it. The other thing is, it's really not going to tell you a lot, because a lot of these chips, you know, things like this are weird custom made stuff, and you know, you Google them and nothing comes up, or a data sheet comes up that they want you to pay for, and look, it's not really worth it for me to stuff around doing that, but if someone's found something interesting out that they didn't know before, because there wouldn't be many of these left. Like, I guess these old phones were all thrown away, and the only reason this one wasn't because I didn't really want to throw it out, because I figured one day something like this video would come up and someone, God knows who, might actually be interested in seeing this kind of a retro teardown. So it's not a very good teardown, because I didn't realise everything would have little shields over it. I just assumed, like in a modern phone, that it's got that little cover thing with the Motorola insignia on it for the aerial socket. Really nicely made. It's just, you know, everything fits together nicely, and it's not really complicated at all. Just a really well made little old phone. I apologise for all those iPhone users out there. And let's just put the battery back in and see if this thing will even power up. The battery's falling apart. Oh, who cares? I'm sure it's not going to make any difference. Besides, it's got this little stupid cover to go over it. Should be enough charge in the battery. May not be. Battery's screwed. There you go. Okay, no, the key. They're still missing a line, but who gives a crap? That's cool. It's retro. And that concludes my teardown. Like I said, I'm sorry it's not a very good teardown, but oh well.